So I have this quick message that I want to share. I meant to share it the other day. It came back around, so I'm sharing it again. And what God has been speaking to me, and what He has been saying is that, hey, Raquel, you don't have what you want because you're not asking. He was saying the enemy continues to trick us, His people, His children, by allowing them to keep their mouth closed, not speaking to him, not asking him for things. He said, Raquel, I created everything in this world by the words that I spoke. And he said, that's how creation happens. Creation happens by the words that we speak. When we speak, it moves things to happen, it allows creative forces to take place and happen. And so when the more that we keep our mouth shut, the more that we don't ask God for things, the more that we don't tell him what it is that's on our heart, what we desire, it keeps us in a place of not creating. It keeps us in a place to not allow God to move. And he said the reason why many people, the reason why his children don't speak up to him is because they don't feel as though they're loved, they're worthy, that he will answer their prayers, that they're he said people have they felt as though they don't have a voice. They've been told they don't have a voice or not to speak up, and or they're just simply in their feelings. And he said it is a trick from the enemy. Like, these are tactics the enemy keep using to dupe us, because he knows that these are biblical concepts that we have. There are power, there's power in our words. So when we don't speak, that power doesn't come forth. And that's why it's crucial to make sure that when you speak the things that you want to see, and you, as the scripture says, you speak life. And so God is saying, I don't care what it is that you want. He said, ask him. It gives him good pleasure. It gives him pleasure to do things for his children, to give his children the kingdom of heaven. And so he is saying, it doesn't matter what you want. It could be a meal from McDonald's that you want. It could be shoes, whatever. But he said, ask him. You have not because you ask not. James 4:2. And so you have to start opening up your mouth and speaking and asking God what it is that you want, and on it, and make sure you're is down to the T. You describe everything it is, right? You got to open up your mouth and talk to God. That's all prayer is. All prayer is communicating and talking to God. And you don't have to be on your knees. You don't have to be doing anything special. It's just communication with God. But God is saying, we do not have the things that we truly desire in our life because we are simply not asking. And we think we have to do more than ask. No, all we have to do is ask and just have faith that God can do it. That's it. It's that simple. It's that easy. But the enemy continues to trick us and make us think that God isn't going to answer, our words don't matter, and they do. And that's why he's tricking us, because the more we begin to speak out, the more we are going to create things. God created this entire earth by simply the words he spoke. He said, let there be, and there was. As the scripture says, he spoke those things as they were not, and they came to fruition to be. And so that was powerful to me. God said, and I want this to stick with you. Just think about this. Everything on this earth that God created, he created it by speaking, opening up his mouth and speaking. And so I hope you hear this today. I hope this helps you. I know it seemed like I'm putting out a lot of messages, but God is constantly speaking to us. There's a lot of prayers and stuff we have going forth that we may not even know. And honestly, shouldn't you be like, I know I'm tired of the enemy duping and tricking my life. I know I want things to change. And if God is telling me it's simple as me opening up my mouth to speak and ask, then that's what I'm going to do. So open up your mouth, speak, ask him. All you got to do is ask. It gives him good pleasure to give things to his children. The scripture says, and I'm done, where Jesus says, if an earthly father knows how to give good gifts, just imagine the gifts that the Father gives.